Hi, this is Dr. Philip Cordova with Facebook Live here at Chiropractic. I have a special guest today. This is our youngest son, Justice Cordova. So he is obviously on spring break this week. So he agreed enthusiastically to help me out this week to demonstrate kids getting adjusted and to learn more about that. So Justice, do you remember? You probably don't. Do you know when the first time you were adjusted was?
When I was first born.
When he was first born, that's right. So within hours of birth, I was able to check his spine. Now with kids, it's more gentle. I don't have to do the pops and the cracks when they're little ones. I just have to use a pinky and apply some pressure. But why did you have to get adjusted within a few hours of birth?
Because it's always good to have an adjustment, especially when I'm born.
Yeah, so the birth process can be very traumatic. In fact, when Justice was born, he had the umbilical cord was wrapped around his neck 4 times. We did, our first son was born at home, and the next 2 at a birthing center in the Woodlands called Nativity. And their staff was great, but we also wanted to make sure that, his neck was aligned correctly. So how often do you get adjusted now?
About once a week.
Yeah, so we're getting adjusted once a week because he's in lacrosse and he's very active. Why do you think it's important that people get adjusted?
Because especially when you're a kid, you're always active, and since I play lacrosse, I'm always being pushed around, and so it's always good to have an adjustment to get back in line.
Right, and so being in alignment does what for your nerves?
If your nerves can't work right, then if your nerves aren't right, then your spine isn't right.
Right, good. So we're going to demonstrate an adjustment. So he is almost 13 years old now, so he's got another week to go, right? And then, at this age, we can basically adjust him the way we adjust any adult. So kids, once they're able to lay there comfortably, so even like around 2 years old, they're usually able to lay face down. They understand what the adjustment is. Kids just take to it right away. It doesn't hurt, right?
Right.
Okay. I don't do it as a punishment, right?
No,
Okay, it's a good thing, right? And so we want to make sure that his spine gets checked. And of course, he's playing lacrosse. I'll see him take a good hard hit, and I think, okay, great, got to make sure he gets adjusted. But most of the kids don't get adjusted, and they're taking those same hard hits, and they're playing football, they're playing basketball, they're active, they're falling down. A lot of concussions even can come from bouncing the soccer ball off their head. So the good part is kids are super easy to adjust. They usually don't need nearly as many adjustments as an adult. They haven't had the problem for 20 years because they're not 20 years old yet. But we're going to show you that he can get adjusted without having any pain. Hopefully he won't yell or cause any chaos or scenes or anything, right? So you think all kids should get adjusted then?
Obviously.
Okay, great, obviously. All right, he's obviously my kid, very good. We're gonna have you lay face down then, let's check it out. Okay, let's set down. You can crank the thing up. Some camera adjustments. So we're going to check him like we would anyone else. We start with that leg length difference and see what's going on. He's pretty close. We can check that pelvis and see if that helps it or hurts it. Okay, so that helped even him out. So I know I'm going to adjust this one here in a second. We feel along the spine here. Going to help relax the muscles here. Because just like anyone else, he has his stiffness and stress and things, and so he tends to get locked up. And when you've been getting adjusted for nearly 13 years, like Justice has here, he tends to anticipate when I'm going to adjust him, much like our regular patients. Okay, and take a big deep breath for me. And blow it all the way out. Good. And do that one again. Blow it way out. Nice. All right, I'm gonna have you turn on your side and face me. Let's get a little closer, very good. Crisscross just like that. Nice, and we're gonna go to the other side. Lay on your back. You may need to move. Let's go ahead and come more over here so you can point out. Now this, of course, is the subject of much controversy, but if you think that I would hurt my baby boy in any way whatsoever, and I'm only going to do this for someone who needs it, obviously, but when we see the collisions, we see what happens to them, we see them looking down at their phones despite our best efforts, we know that their necks are going to be affected. So I'm going to adjust my son's neck because he absolutely needs it today. Relax there. Good.
Yesterday he went to the rodeo.
And, yep. So he was at the rodeo yesterday. He won himself a big giant donut, you know, like a stuffed animal donut. So I now have that in our home. And a basketball too, right? You won that too. And he ate only healthy foods there, right? Not deep fried cheesecake and deep fried cookie dough or any of that good stuff.
Right.
That's not true.
But the ride's country on that too.
Yeah, going on the rides definitely can throw that out. There's, you know, if we think back to, all right, you're all set. You can sit up. Very often people will say, you know, I didn't do anything or I haven't had any traumas. You know, if you have kids, you can look at your child and know that they do plenty of things to cause themselves problems, right? So if they're at school, and now they're looking down here. I have, you know, the 2-year-olds on the iPads already when they come in looking down. If they've played sports, they've sat in desk chairs at school for years and years. You know, if they've been whacked with a lightsaber, if they've taken a ball off the head, if they've hit the staircase, right? We got a little mark here from whacking into the rail of a stairwell. We've got jumps off of whatever, belly flops in the pool. I mean, if we could sit there and look at your entire life of every spinal trauma you've ever had, we could sit here through hours of footage going, oh man, dang, how did you survive that? So in no way have you done nothing. You know, if you've lived, you've had the opportunity for your spine to go out of alignment. The benefit for Justice is that he's been getting adjusted since he's been born. So that means that we're able to keep his spine in alignment, help his nerves function and work as well as they should. He's a very healthy kid. I think he missed perfect attendance last year by 1 day, just had one little episode there at the end. But other than that, I mean, really healthy kid. He's always there, lots of energy, and does great in school too. Anything else you want to add?
No.
No? All right. Thanks for joining us for Facebook Live. We'll see you next week.